IGT, baby.
What's cracking, guys? It's your boy Junior Mafia coming back to you with another video. So I just finished watching Monday Night Raw. On their last stop on the European tour, they was in Paris, or France, to put it that way. And let me say right now to that crowd, y'all showed out. Y'all knocked it out the park for this episode of Monday Night Raw, man. Y'all did y'all thing. Like, I can honestly say this show itself was a 10 out of 10 just off the crowd alone. Everything else that happened on the show too was spectacular. So I definitely want to talk about it. I don't want to waste no time. And without further ado, let's get right into it. So we had Obafemi coming out to kick off the show. And man, when I say it was bone chilling, you being in that crowd when they doing the it was like electric. Like even Oba himself had to embrace that moment right there. So he going out there, they doing the Oba shot, so he gets into the ring. So you know, it's things he wanted to get off his chest and all, but you still hear the Oba chants keep going and going and going. So, you know, as much as he loved it, he wanted to get down to the point, but it just shows you how much this man is a megastar. Like, he is super over. You know, no matter if he's on a card or not, regardless of so, the minute you hear his entrance hit, you hear that Oba. So that was dope to feel, man. I feel like at that part right there, you know, he was just a household name now. So he let it be known that, you know, after winning his match last week and, you know, Seth proclaiming that he's gonna win the King of the Ring. So he already the ruler. So the only thing that's missing right now is that King of the Ring crown, but he also wants the head of Brock Lesnar. And it brings up about, you know, him coming in, cheap shotting him and stuff like that. And then when they had their match, you know, it being even up 1-1. And he let it be known, like, this ain't over, and we're gonna cross paths. And this time around, I'm gonna make sure I get the job done. And brings up that it ain't a prediction, it's a spoiler, you know, similar to what Paul Heyman says a lot too. So he already let it be known what his agenda is. So out of nowhere, Dominic comes out, and you know the nuclear heat that was coming his way was bound to happen. So he gets out to the ring and he's trying to say, you know, you putting your attention to Brock Lesnar right now, well, you put your attention towards me because I don't want you facing in a semi in this King of the Ring tournament. So as he's saying that, you hear the boos loud, but you also hear the Oba chants getting louder. So as he's trying to make his case of the whole thing, Oba don't give two flying shits about that. And he let it be known, like, I'm gonna deal with you next week. And I thought it was hilarious to close it out. He says, I know Rey Mysterio is your father. And you hear Dom saying, he's not my father. But he says, he's your father, but next week, I'm going to be your daddy. And close it out that way, man. And I thought that was fantastic. You know, the hit for him, man. And the crowd was electric after he said that. And they started doing the Oba chants, man. Like, you're going to say it for so much. Like, he's just big time, man. And I hope they really do this right in regards of his momentum and just how much of a megastar he is. Like, you gotta take that and run with it, and do not fuck that up. Just, it's plain and simple. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that. Like, you got somebody right here who can carry your company in the future. So we'll see what happens. That was a good way to kick off this show. Definitely enjoyed it. We also have our first match of the night, which was for the King of the Ring tournament. To see who advances, and that being Becky Lynch versus Chelsea Green versus Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan. Now, in this match, I'm gonna be honest, I would have loved it would have been somebody like Alexa Bliss or even Chelsea Green that advance. But if we're being real right now, and Liv Morgan being in this match, and she's your world champion, whether she eat the pen or not, she can't take no loss, which is still crazy for me that she even in this in the first place. But of course, she ended up picking up the win, after rolling up. I think it was either Chelsea Green or Alexa that she rolled up to get that pin, one of them, and now she advances to the semifinals. So that was crazy to see, but eventually that was about to happen. Oh, I did gloss over that. After that segment with Oba, Femi, and Dominic, we had a backstage segment with Jackie Redmond. She was talking to Seth Rollins, and Seth Rollins was, saying about, he created the vision, and like I said, made his mission to end it and all that too, and looking to qualify and this man King of the Ring, to win it and go on and get the title that he never lost. Even send, shots to Roman Reigns, let him know, like, I'm coming for you in that title, and I'm gonna make sure that I get it back, which is rightfully mine. Because he's still going off the same thing of I never lost it, which he didn't because of an injury, but he let it be crystal clear to Roman that this is far from over, and I'm getting back my championship. So you already know they just a matter of time till they set up Seth versus Roman again. And listen, I am here for it. So definitely enjoyed that. So yeah, after that match and all, you see Chad Gable talking backstage to Penta, and who's supposed to be facing Rey Mysterio later on in the show and for the Intercontinental Championship. So Chad Gable, wanted to go there to apologize to Penta, for disrespecting the Lucha Libre, and that whole gimmick with the El Grande Americano. So Penta accepted the apology, but also told him, like, even though I'm okay with it and, I understand from your point of view, your apology and stuff, you don't need to be only talking to me. You need to go talk to, Rey Mysterio, which he didn't say the name, but you could kind of read between the lines, him and Dragon Lee. So this has been like a whole Chad Gable going on an apology rant a lot. So we see that happen like later on in the show where he'll go and he speak to Rey and tell him, like, listen, I know with the whole gimmick I did a year ago and kind of disrespecting, your heritage, when it comes down to wrestling, but I want to let you know that that's not the case right now. I definitely understand it, from y'all point of view, how much that mask mattered when he also unmasked them. So, Rey ended up accepting it, and him know, like, even though I'm cool with it, you still got some other things you got to deal with way before you decide to become El Grande Americano. So, as Chad Gable see that right there, he's just like, I want to be able to prove myself that, I changed and I'm not the same prick that I was a year ago. So, we definitely seen that in this show tonight when they had their match, where Penta versus Rey Mysterio, which I say was a fantastic match. Like, they really knocked it out of the park, for these matches on the show. So I definitely enjoyed that, and it was a very good spot there from both Rey and Penta. So the climax of the match, Rey, after hitting, I think, the 619, and he was looking to do his dive, Penta was able to get out of the way and actually catch Rey into a Mexican Destroyer and cover him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and he retains his title. Now after that, you see Ethan Page and Rusev come out there and they start beating down both Penta and Rey Mysterio, and it was to the point where Rusev proceeded. I think when he locked in an accolade on Rey Mysterio, Mans takes off his mask and all. And this is when Dragon Lee comes out, to try to, get the upper hand, but they end up beating him down, taking advantage of him and all. So when the mask got off of Ray, here comes Chad Gable. So Gable runs down there and puts the beats on both Ethan Page and on Rusev, and was able to get him out of there. So he sees the mask, picked it up, and now it's like it had them raising eyebrows, like Penta, Dragon Lee, and all that stuff, because the last time he had that mask in his hand, he was disrespectful with it. But he passed it to Penta for Ray to put it back on and all that stuff. So you see him turning over a new leaf, and he's really serious about it. So to see this babyface side of Chad Gable, they got to do something with that. I love it, and I say after his match with Ludwig Kaiser, that match versus Mask, I'm like, yeah, this is that opportunity right now to strap a rocket on Chad Gable, and definitely have gold around his waist in due time, because he definitely delivered and proven himself that this is somebody you could take serious. So I definitely enjoy that too, and I hope that we get more of that down the line. We had some good matches too with Sol Ruka and Lyle Valkyria. I thought that was dope and all that stuff. And there was a segment backstage where Seth and Montez Ford was talking, but you see the Usos pop up, and as they popping up, he let it be known like, yo, I came here because I didn't like how you was disrespecting, the OTC and all that stuff, like my family, like that shit ain't flying around here. So Seth let him know, like, listen, I got respect for both of y'all. Like talking about Jimmy and Jay. And Jacob, he said, the main person I'm directing this attention to is Roman Reigns. And he's saying like, yo, like, what happened to y'all? Like, y'all was doing your own thing, talking about Jay being his like main event Jay Uso and stuff. And Jimmy, always played the role, but he just just played his position. But saying like, yo, like ever since y'all gave Roman the opportunity to lead the pack for y'all just fell in line. Like y'all just was some bitches, so to speak. That's what he was trying to say, but didn't say it. You know what I mean? And nigga Jay gonna say to Jacob, like, go handle Seth. So you see Jacob come around and he's face to face with Seth Rollins. He looks at Jay and just walked off. Now Jay is pissed. So we knew this was gonna play into later on in the show. So later on, you see Jacob and he just pacing back and forth. So Jay pulls up and says, like, yo, why you ain't going and follow orders? Like, when I said to go after Seth Rollins, I'm expecting you to do it. Like, that's how we gotta stick to the playbook and all that. So Jacob let me know, like, and even Jimmy brought it up too. So Jacob let him know, like, listen, I don't follow orders from you, Jimmy, and I don't follow like orders from your punk ass brother talking about Jay. And Jay like he about to strike him, but Jacob had to let me know, like, listen, the only person that I'm answering orders from is the OTC, Roman Reigns. And then he said, y'all worried about me and everything I'm doing right now. You should be worried about LA Knight, who been, disrespecting the family the way he be talking right now. He said he probably doing it at this point. So you should go handle that instead of worry about what I'm doing. So, of course, Jay being a hothead, you knew that was bound to happen. So I like what they're doing with this whole thing as well, because you see the friction with Jacob and Jay. And like I said, once Jacob fell in line, you knew the friction between himself and Jay is going to play a huge role in this shit. So I definitely want to see how that turned out, because it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. So I want to get to LA Knight. So he made his way towards the ring area, and he let it be known that with the whole bloodline situation, like, even that right now, he's sick and tired of and all that stuff. And also with the Usos falling in line with Roman Reigns and all that too, being their own mans and shit. And he's like, listen, if I gotta go and take them out and all that too to get the Roman, I'm gonna do that, and let him know. And this King of the Ring, like, that's the mission for me to do next week. So as it's happening, that prompted Jay to come out there. So he comes out there, everybody eating and shit like that. So I thought it was funny. You see how he does the run it back thing, and he goes on to the turnbuckle and starts yeeting again. So LA Knight grabs the mic and he says, nah, like, you're not gonna sit here and keep doing this over right now. Like, we're gonna get down to the point of this whole thing, like why you came out here. So Jay said, "Oh, you came out here because you were talking shit about my family yet again, and we let you know. The last conversation we had, we told you stay out of family business, or there's gonna be consequences and all that too." So no LA Knight, and he's saying, "I'm on all the smoke. Like, I don't give a damn who stands in my way, whether it's Jimmy, whether it's Jay, no, that stuff don't matter. As long as I can get my hands on Roman Reigns, it's the thought that counts." And let it be known, like, I was trying to do this in a respectful manner, but now you kind of crossing the line, so to speak. So when it was all said and done, Jay said his word, like, I'm in the King of the Ring as well, and best believe I'm looking to take out Cody Rhodes, win the King of the Ring, but take out Cody Rhodes as well. Hey, you saying you getting in my way? There's a warning shot, and he left out. So as he's doing that, LA Knight grabs the mic again, and he was saying that, "Oh, like, I try to be cool and respectful to you and all that, but yeah, screw your family." So that triggered Jay. That triggered him a lot. And as he's about to make his way to the ring, like he about to go and attack LA Knight, you see Jimmy pulls up on the side of him now. So I like that they're still continuing with the story with LA Knight and the Usos, or in this case the Bloodline, because he's still got problems with them. So I'm kind of glad they still building that up. So that's gonna be very interesting. I want to see how things turns out next week, especially with LA Knight being in the King of the Ring qualifying match. So I definitely want to see how that whole thing turns out, and do Jay gets involved, or even vice versa with LA Knight. So we'll see what happens. But towards the end of the show, we did get a main event match, and that was Tyler Tonga versus Seth Rollins versus Javon Evans versus Ricky Saints. And in my opinion, this was a very good match. I definitely enjoyed as well. I think all four competitors did their thing in here. I love the spot with Tyler Tonga where he chokes them Javon Evans onto the announce desk, and then you see Seth Rollins coming from the other announce table going curve stomp Tyler Tonga on there. And then he also went, I think he was about to steal steps and curve stopped him again, pretty much taking him out the equation. So that being done, he gets into the ring, and now I think it's himself and I believe Ricky Saints. And when he curve stops Ricky Saints and goes for the cover, you see Austin Theory pulls the ref out. So once you do that, we like, all right, we know the Vision shenanigans is about to happen. So as you're doing that as a distraction, once again, it's another disqualification. Braun Breaker was on the horizon, and he was looking to catch Seth Rollins slipping, which rightfully did, and hits a crazy spear on him yet again. So in my mind, I'm thinking, all right, we're going to have the same finish all over again. But that didn't happen, because right when Ricky Saints thought that he's going to go for the cover after it was all said and done, you see Javon Evans run in and hits an OG cutter on the Ricky Saints and covers him for the 1, for the 2, for the 3, and Javon Evans advances to the next round. And I'm not gonna lie, him running with this whole King Von thing, I think that shit was fire. Low key, if you know, you know. So I thought that was very interesting, because I thought we were going to get the same old finish as always, but it definitely did change up, even though that you had the Visions get involved and all. And even though Montez Ford was there, I forgot to bring that up. He was out there to save Seth as well, taking out Austin Theory. So overall, I definitely enjoyed the show for what it was. Fantastic. Once again, the crowd, they fucking delivered, man. They made this show that spectacular. That spectacular. And every segment that they had, every match they had, it never was a boring moment. They was very engaging and just enjoyed it. So that's what it's all about, man. That's what makes these shows a lot interesting. I'm glad this right here closed out their European tour because they went out with a bang. So definitely enjoyed that. But comment down below. Let me know what was your favorite moment of the show. Did you like it? What was the rating you would give it? For me, it's a 10 out of 10. Hands down, it's a 10 out of 10. And I definitely enjoy it. But you let me know how y'all feel in the comments down below. I appreciate y'all love and support. Road to 300 subscribers. Continue to keep God first as the process of anything that you do at life. Your time will come. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Peace.
Game over, yeah!